for the people of Gaza and occupied Palestine. Reading from my novella, Bomber, Chapter 1, Tail Gunner. Copyright Anthony E.C. Linford, Galston, Great Yarmouth, 2023. On the day of a raid, aircrew always had bacon and eggs for breakfast. It didn't matter that the bugle sounded them awake long before they were due to be briefed, formed up, bombed up, armoured and weighed down with the massive responsibility of what they'd signed up to do. Their morning always began with shiny yellow yolks, sizzling semi-browned back bacon, china mugs of nearly black tea with hot buttered toast. For some, this would be their last meal. It was considered bad luck to eat the wax-papered sandwiches or drink the thermos of coffee until after the target had been destroyed. Many aircrew thought this would somehow be tempting fate in a way similar to not taking a regular mascot or even dressing in a particular order, as they would eventually do when donning their flight kit. Mike watched as 3 fried eggs slid onto his sparkling white plate, and the airman of the serving counter smiled kindly, his brown eyes twinkling under the strip lighting in the mess hut that somehow always felt utilitarian, grey and dingy, whatever the meal or the time of day. Mike nodded his thanks to the airman, his stomach growling in anticipation. "Good luck tonight, mate," he said as he served the strips of bacon and the line moved forwards along the stainless steel counter. The white apron figure met Mike's eyes. He pushed his plate closer under the warming lights to share a word with the young man, who had his sleeves rolled up. "Thanks, chum," Mike said, taking the plate and shuffling forwards. "You know, we're like mushrooms when it comes to ops," he joked, tilting his blue eyes upwards towards the server. The man looked quizzical and inclining his large head towards Mike in confusion. Now, nearly at the end of the serving counter, picking up his toast from the machine as the man in front drained tea from the large copper urn, Mike spoke to the server, turning away, looking for a table. "Yes, mate, we're like mushrooms." He paused for effect, hearing only the hubbub of numerous conversations around the tables and benches, kept in the dark and fed on shit. Tray in hand, Mike pivoted on his right foot, weaving through the now nearly full mess hut towards the metal-framed and condensation-streaked windows on the lighter side of the corrugated iron structure, where the sunshine was just starting to leak through. It was there that he saw Archie, the mid-upper gunner, with his heavy flying boots on, cleaning his plate with a slice of white toast. "You're eager, aren't you, chum?" he said, looking down at Archie's fleece-lined flying boots, only half zipped, the white flock hanging down below both knees like the skin on a peeled banana. Archie looked up, pausing mid-bite on the crunchy brown toast, thick yellow butter well into this doorstep slice that seemed to dwarf his delicate right hand. He mumbled, having swallowed hard, his Adam's apple bobbing in his slender neck. "Cold feet, mate. Couldn't get 'em warm all night. The stove in the hut ran out of coke, and I didn't want to refill it as the rest of the hut were all snoring." He paused as Mike sat down, drawing closer to him over the long table that now stood between them. I'm nice and considerate like that, you see. Always think of my mates, so I pulled these on instead. Hardly pausing as he shuffled on the bench, Mike inquired of his mid-upper gunner, timing his question within mouthfuls of crisp bacon with yellow egg, and just as Archie reached for the brown sauce bottle, a sudden realization struck him. He furrowed his brow and leaned in close to Archie. So you haven't seen Ginge Collins, have you, this morning? So you haven't seen Ginge Collins, have you, this morning? I know he was working on our number 2 engine last night. The jolly flyer paused, his fork mid-stab, and answered, "No idea, chap. I don't have much to do with the ground crew." A smile crossed his lips before his next mouthful. "All I do know is that they treat P for Peter like she was their personal property, and they're pretty ticked off if or when we bring her back damaged." "Well, thanks, chum. Hopefully might see him before we bomb up tonight. I'll catch you later at the target briefing." With a nod, the jolly flyer resumed his meal, his infectious laughter filling the mess hall. Bomber. End of chapter 1.